Hi, it's Lori from Coast to Coast Craft Girls coming to you from the West Coast. Today I'm getting an early start on my Valentine's Day cards, and so I wanted to share an easel card that I made with you. It's a twisted easel, 6x6, and when it twists and stands, you get this nice little effect of a bouquet of flowers sort of sticking up out of off the card and sort of floating in the air, which I really loved. And just kind of sits like that, so it looks so pretty just sitting on a desk or on a shelf. It's actually pretty easy to make. The only thing that's time consuming is making all the flowers. I'm not going to show you how to make these flowers they're made out of paper, and I used the Crafter's Companion rose dies, and I just used the smallest 2 dies. And I cut 3 of these and 3 of these. And I have a video on my channel about how to make realistic paper flowers, and that's how I made these. Except I just made them smaller with two layers, or 3 layers of each of the 2 different sizes. And on this one, I put 3 flowers on it, and then I decided it wasn't really enough, so I poked some of these little white flowers that I had in my stash in there. For this one, I actually cut 5 flowers, so I think that'll probably be enough. And so I probably won't need those, but if I do, I'll throw them in later. But anyway, really cool twisted easel. Let me show you how it's made. It's a 6x6 card base. So I've got my 6x6 card base, and I scored so if this is the fold, score from this corner to that corner, and that gives you the twisted easel this way. If you score from this corner to this corner, it would twist the other direction. So if you wanted to kind of do it that way, you can, but I like them twisted this way. So I twist from the bottom fold corner to the top other. And then I'm going to go ahead and mat and layer these. And I just cut, to mat and layer a twisted easel, it's actually pretty simple. So if this is 6x6, I cut a red square that was 5 7/8 by 5 7/8, and then I just cut it corner to corner. And that gives you that layer. And then my next layer, I cut a 1/4 inch down square, and then cut it corner to corner, and that gives you the next layer. So let me go ahead and glue those on, and I'll be right back with you. Okay, I've got my mats and layers on. And as I said, I made all these little flowers out of the Crafter's Companion rose dies. I don't know if you can see, this one I made with the Spellbinders rose dies, and honestly, you cannot tell them apart. So I used these dies, and again, I used 3 and 3 of each layer. Or no, on the Spellbinders dies, I used 2 of each layer. And you honestly can't tell the difference. So whichever, floral die you've got, use whatever flower die you have. They're all about the same. So, and I will link the video of making the realistic 3D paper flowers in the description and at the end of this video, so you'll be able to find it. But it's on my channel, and it's a short one. It's a technique video on just how to make 3D flowers, realistically looking. So, and so it's a pretty short video, and it's pretty straightforward and easy. As you can see, I like the looks of like a bouquet of flowers as opposed to just some flowers stuck on the card. So I made this little kind of like a paper wrapper, you know, when you get a bouquet of flowers and it's in like a little paper wrapper. And I made it out of vellum. And so I've got basically a 4 by 4 inch square of vellum. And all I did not measure this. All I did was I sort of folded it and then folded one end in from the corner, and then folded the other one over so that it made a point, and it was over to the edge of that one, and gave it a little bit of a crease, and that's all I did. And I'm going to go ahead and tack it down with a little bit of glue. And I don't mind usually I don't like using wet glue on vellum because it does show, but in this case I'm going to have a ribbon and a tag on top of it, so I'm not too worried about it, especially up there. And then all we're going to do to decorate this is you're going to place it on your easel. And I put mine quite a ways down so that you had plenty of room for the flowers. So get that corner, because when you put it up like this, your flowers are going to stick up here. But I wanted that paper wrapper kind of supported. So I put it down here, and I'm going to go ahead and glue that on with a couple strips of tape and some wet glue. And just get it, you don't want it too off the corner, so just kind of get it down in the corner and about in the middle, and then get your hand inside and really rub it down and get it stuck down good. Now, because those flowers are just sort of floating in free space, you need something to hold them up. You can use acetate if you want, or whatever. I just cut 1/2-inch strips of green cardstock, and I cut them and glued 2 together, so they're pretty sturdy. And I'm just going to poke the green down into my little paper vase, kind of at 3 different angles. And I can always trim off the heights later, but we're going to just kind of glue those down in there. And then you're going to put all of your leaves and your flowers off of these 3 little stalks, okay? So now you just start placing your flowers. We're going to place one up there. And I'm not too worried. I'm going to put this in a box, so I'm not too worried if they come off the top. If that matters to you, just kind of slide them down so that, you know, they don't go off the top. And you don't always have to glue the center of the flower. You can glue one of the outside petals, which is what I'm going to do here, to kind of, so they're not, you know, in a row. And I'm going to glue one down here, sort of, again, sort of off the side, like that. Yeah, I need one more. All right, well, I'm going to make one more flower. So I guess you will get to see how to make the flowers. So let me cut one. And this is a fairly lightweight paper. This is 24 pound, which is 90 GSM paper. And I find this weight of paper makes a really nice flower. On these little 3-petal ones, essentially I rolled it really tight all the way to the middle. This is going to be your very center. And you want it sort of to roll up like it's a tight bud in the middle, because I don't have any stamens or anything in the middle. So we're going to roll it up just like that. Then the next one I'm going to do fairly similar, just not quite as tight, but the same idea. Okay. Then this one, I'm going to roll side to side. I'm going to roll more like the other ones, where you roll one side up and one side down. And that's what I'm going to do on all of these. And on this dark red, I did not ink any of the petals because it's dark enough that I didn't think it was necessary. On the lighter cardstock, I often will put a dark ink in the middle or something, just to give it a little bit of more, it helps give it more depth and reality, or realistic look when you get variegated shades of color. And as you can see, that one I rolled both of them in. And so I just kind of, some of them I roll one up, one down, some of them I roll both up, some of them I roll both down. But you just kind of, you want to make it random a little bit. And there's your flowers. I'll go back to my card. I'm going to stick this one on right up here at the top. Onto right there at the very top. There we go. And then I'm just going to tuck some flowers or some leaves in. And I just put a little bit of bend on these leaves. Oop. And we're just going to tuck some in. Okay. Okay, so there's my bouquet of flowers. I've got a little ribbon with a tag that I'm going to put on there with my 3D glue gel. I'm just going to tuck it up underneath there. That. And last thing I need is a stopper for my easel, because any easel card always needs a stopper. And I just cut a little heart that's also stamped with love on there, and then you raise it up on some foam and just decide where you want it. And I'm going to put it at a nice little angle, right about there. And there we go. Looks just like that. Isn't that pretty? Nice bouquet of flowers that you can send. It obviously needs a box because it's very dimensional, but I love how that came out. So hope you enjoyed that. Thanks for watching.